Hi everyone, welcome to my next video. I received a comment, and I don't remember if it was this morning or yesterday, but it reminded me of something that I struggled with myself. And so I thought it might be helpful to not only address the person who left the comment, but reveal how I dealt with the same thing. And hopefully it will be helpful to someone. So the comment was, and I don't recall exactly, but it was in regards to a person who is in a relationship and it's not working out for whatever reason, and the person is wanting to find their independence. And by the wording, I guess that was a struggle. And I wanted to do this video because I was in that very same predicament years ago. And it was very interesting how it happened, because I was a very, very independent kid and teenager up until I was about 23, 24. And it all changed when I married my first husband. And looking back, I believe I made, due to some very poor choices on my part, due to my probably my upbringing a lot, my trauma that I've been through, and my wanting to please, and all of that. I lost myself, for lack of a better explanation. And I wanted to do everything I could for this man, who I ultimately married. And by doing so, I gave up very gradually, over time, everything that I had valued for myself. And it had started with such little things. The first one, which looking back, I can't believe I did. I had a beautiful apartment in Mountain View, California, and I think the rent was only $160 a month. It was absolutely stunning. This was 1979, I believe. Swimming pool, laundry facilities, beautiful gardens, 1 bedroom, everything included. And I had a job I didn't mind. I was a little bored, but I didn't mind it. And I could easily take care of myself. So now I meet this man at work, and it happened so darn quickly. Within a month, he asked me to move in with him. Now, I had this nagging warning in my gut not to do it. But I was lonely, and I did it. I gave up my beautiful apartment, and I moved in with him. And from that point on, I went downhill. Because not only had I given up my independence by having my own apartment, I was now contributing for him to pay his mortgage. And the house was not in my name. There was absolutely no benefit to me. And I began doing little things here and there for him that I would never have done if I had been alone. And it's really sad to think back, because deep down I knew I was doing it. But over time, it became a way of life. It became a habit. And over time, I realized that I was becoming very dependent on being with this man. And as he became more successful in his job and his career, I'm ashamed to say it, but I was proud to be affiliated with him. I was not successful in my career. I was moderately so. But I really liked the feeling of being with a successful man. Now, what a mistake that was, right? Because this man, and I'm not finding fault with him, I'm finding fault with myself for choosing to be with him. Now, I lost over time, over 17 years, my independence. I became, I don't know, I guess over time we become in the habit of doing things a certain way and a particular lifestyle. And if we continue on a repetitive way of life, it does become habit, and it becomes very difficult to break. And I knew I was losing myself. I knew I was miserable. But I became so confused I didn't understand why. And when you're confused and upset and distraught, and you are typically a person who blames yourself anyway, can you imagine how horrible that was? So 17 years later, and I probably have repeated this in previous videos, but I ended up divorcing him and marrying someone who I had known years prior. And this man was abusive in a different way because he was like two different men. He could be very caring, very loving, very helpful, or he could be a raging maniac and very abusive. But the times that he was helpful, I loved it because I had someone I could depend on. If my truck broke down, all I had to do was call him, and he would be there. If something in the house broke, he would figure out how to fix it. Maybe not very well, but I always knew he was there in some level. And after a year, I kicked him out, and that was that. But here was what happened. I was suddenly alone. After a total of almost 19 years of being with a husband, I was by myself. And even though I had paid the mortgage by myself with my second husband, and he had never helped with hardly any of the bills, on occasion, he'd give me some money and make a big deal about it and say, see, I'm helping, see? He was not responsible financially at all. Yet still, I was scared when I threw him out. Even though I had my 16-year-old daughter with me, it was a brand new feeling for me because I had forgotten how to be alone and how to be independent. Now, here's what I'm trying to convey in this video. I believe we can become lost in life for whatever reason, but being lost doesn't mean that missing piece is gone. It simply means that it's been misplaced, overlooked, or put away in a place where we haven't used it in a while. Because I realized that even if my truck broke down, all I had to do was call my towing company. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, but that's how I was thinking. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do if this happens? Or if something in the house breaks? Or if the electricity goes out? Well, heck, you call an electrician, right? You call a plumber. You mow the lawn by yourself. The lawnmower breaks. You take it to a shop. You get it fixed. No, husbands are not always the only choice to fix things, especially when you have an abusive one or two. So for the person who asked me this question, or actually they didn't even ask me this question, they're searching for their own independence. I'd like to assure you that it is there. It is buried beneath the other things that are distracting you from finding from finding your way. And I can tell you very, very assuredly that once you find your independence, you will never, ever want to give it up again. And I learned the hard way, and I lost years making the wrong choices. And again, I am not finding fault with either man that I married, but I am finding fault with myself for having chosen to marry them in the first place. And why is that? Because both times I ignored my gut feeling, especially when I left my first apartment that I really, really loved. I had my own peace of mind, my own quiet, my own refuge, And I gave it up to basically be a slave to someone else, thinking that I was going to find value in that. And I was never appreciated. I was never truly loved in the sense of what love is, nor was I the second man either. And I picked those men because I did not love myself first. And that is a major piece to finding independence. Because when you decide to love yourself first and to value yourself first, no, it's not selfish. It's a way of fulfilling your life in a way that you deserve. And when you put yourself first, you will find that the independence will follow suit. And your life will change like never before. And even if it starts with something small, let's say you've never had your own money before, you've never had your own bank account, which maybe some women still don't. They let their husbands handle everything, which is what I did with my first husband. I had no idea what we had in the bank. He handled everything. I just handed my paycheck over to him. Talk about ridiculously stupid. That's what I did. Well, it's extremely empowering to have your own money, even if it's not much to start out with. Put $20 in a new savings account, and just knowing it's there is a start. And as you add to it, a little here, a little there, that money, as it builds over time, will give you even more independence. And it might even give you what you need one day to make a major move. And it is a process. It took me, I would say, a good 6 months after I threw my husband out and I got divorced, that I truly felt that I was happy alone and sure of myself. Now, that says a lot because I'm pretty gutsy. I'm pretty sure of myself, but I lost it all for years. I gave myself up. I completely surrendered to become someone for someone else. And I would love to hear your comments as to if anyone has done that before. I think I've read previously some of you who have, and I know that there's many of you out there who live like me, very happy alone, and will never give up your independence again. And I love to hear that too, because I so get it. And I love hearing that. And it's not as though I'm resentful or bitter, but I found something that is just priceless, and I'm not ever going to give up my independence again. So to those of you who are seeking your independence, do something really small for yourself. Do something that you've been thinking about for a while, and you don't even have to tell anybody, but do it for yourself. And I'll tell you what, you're going to feel great about doing it. And it's going to encourage you to do something else. And little by little, you're going to gain your confidence. And with your confidence will come your independence. And so please let me know if this video was helpful. I have an idea for my channel, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. And I'm really excited about it. And it has to do with interacting even more so with all of you and expanding what I can do with my channel. So again, I welcome all of your comments, all of your questions. Even if you don't agree with me, I'd love to hear it. And gosh, I'm up to 14,300 something subscribers. That's wild. I love it. I'm just utterly amazed at this channel, and I'm so pleased and so thrilled and humbled by all of you who are contributing and supporting me. I so thank you all. So again, thank you, and I welcome all of your reactions, all of your comments. Take care, everyone, and have a really great evening.